Hello and welcome to another Odds and Ends episode. In this episode, we'll be talking about pig domestication and genetics revisited. This paper will talk about the domestication and genetic variability of pigs within both Europe, Asia, and North America. The researcher Dr. Lapien wrote this paper explicitly for the purpose of analyzing the full genetic diversity of this livestock species. The goal is to limit or prevent inbreeding to make sure that this livestock will continue to survive into the indefinite future. This paper represents a review of all the scientific literature up to the writing of that paper regarding how wide the gene pool is and its genetic origin. Let's begin. Through an analysis of mitochondrial DNA, the common pig was domesticated from the wild boar, found in Asia and Europe. The same study suggests that the European and Asian wild boar separated into two different subspecies around 58,000 years ago. Further genetic analysis have found that the Asian pig and European pig were domesticated independently with later iterations involving crossbreeding between both lineages. The European wild boar was domesticated in the 4th century BCE and was later crossbred with the Asian pig in the 18th century CE. The Asian pigs were likely domesticated a lot earlier. Using mitochondrial DNA and historical evidence, it is likely that Asian pigs were domesticated first during the Neolithic era, sometime between 10,000 BCE and 4500 BCE. The European pigs were more or less reverse engineered from the domestication process of Asian pigs based on that mitochondrial DNA, as European domesticated pigs were domesticated from Middle Eastern pigs, which were domesticated in the Middle East shortly after the production of Asian pigs. The European pigs are a subset of these breeds. The genetic analysis further suggested that there is weak genetic differences between modern and wild pigs. This is likely due to continuous crossbreeding between modern and wild pigs throughout history. The mitochondrial DNA also suggests that there's a close genetic relationship between Middle Eastern wild pig and similar pigs found in Europe, further indicating that the European pig was in fact domesticated in the Middle East. Likewise, the African pigs are domesticated from Middle Eastern pigs as well. The genetic evidence also suggests that South American and Central American pigs are closely related to European pigs, indicating that these pigs are direct lineal descendants of the pigs brought over by Spanish colonists and Portuguese colonists during the early days of colonization of the New World. Outside of East Africa, the rest of the African pigs and the international breeds of pigs such as large white, landrace, and pie train are the result of the intermixing of European and Asian lineages. Based on current genetic evidence, the incorporation of Asian pig heritage in mainland England and the rest of Europe came from a female parental lineage. In modern times, there's around 400 breeds of pigs kept and bred throughout the world. Asia and Europe are known to have the highest level of genetic diversity and number of breeds. Even to this day, there's still a high amount of intra-breed diversity within each individual breed of pig. In Europe, depending on the breed, the genetic diversity ranges from 0.53 to 0.8. Asia, however, has a higher level of genetic diversity, ranging between 0.7 and 0.876. It's important that within these calculations that heterozygosity or genetic diversity never reaches 1. Based on the genetic diversity, the Asian breeds have a higher level of genetic diversity than the European ones. Phenotypic analysis also suggests that there's greater variation between individual Asian pigs within a specific versus the European breeds. Indeed, the variation found within one Asian breed is almost absent in the European lines such as the Duroc and Hampshire, but a fair amount of variation is found within the landrace and large white breeds of pig, which have small amounts of Asian pig mixed into it. There's also been some experimental crossbreeding between the Duroc and Asian pigs as well, creating some sub-breeds of the Duroc that have rare variation. This is likely because the European peoples have put pigs under a greater level of selection pressure. Thanks to improvements in technology that happened faster in Europe than anywhere else, the time between generations of pigs was decreased, allowing for more generations per selection cycle to be done. This allowed for faster breeding of new traits, but at the same time caused greater levels of genetic loss. The Middle Eastern breeds still have a lot more genetic diversity, although less than the Asian breeds, likely due to the fact that there's still interbreeding between wild boar and domesticated pig within that region. The lowest level of genetic diversity is in South America, likely because all pigs are introduced from the Spanish and Portuguese colonies into South America. In modern livestock system, increased production traits and traits that make them amenable to high-intensive farming has led to lower use of previous pig breeds that were used in more non-intensive eras. As a consequence, many pig breeds have gone extinct, and several breeds, especially local breeds, are showing a declining population trend. In some locations, the local breeds are being bred into forms akin to the modern breeds of today. This is especially happening within Croatia. This increased the inbreeding rate to a very high level, and overall, the main US pig breeds and international breeds, such as the Berkshire, Duroc, Hampshire, Landrace, and Yorkshire, all have increasing rates of inbreeding. As such, conservation efforts are needed to slow down the rate of inbreeding within modern breeds and preserve the remaining pig breeds for future generations, in order to make sure that the pigs remain a viable livestock animal going into the future. And that about covers everything. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you really enjoyed it and think you can donate, you can do so at Buy Me a Coffee, link in the description below. Thank you for watching.